Ancient Rome, full of togas and gladiators, but life isn't that simple. The peasants of ancient Rome are requesting to choose the price of the city's grain. With the common people suffering from famine, they believe that this is their right. They plead with the aristocrats, especially Menenius, who is seen as a voice for the people even though he is truly not. He speaks to the peasants as if he understands their wish for affordable grain. He begins a long metaphor involving a belly to explain how the grain distribution system works in Rome. He says that a belly of a man is taken for granted by all of the other parts of his body, but without the belly working through the food it has consumed, no other parts would have energy to do their duties. In this odd metaphor, the city of Rome and all of the aristocrats are the belly, those who get to devour the grain to their liking, and the peasants are the unhappy parts, like a toe, for example. It is a broken and twisted system, but Menenius basically tells them to just deal with what they have. However, if they can vote 2 people into the Senate, maybe something can be done for the lack of affordable grain. However, when the arrogant prick Caius Marcius shows up, he squashes their hopes and dreams for affordable grain. He calls them dogs and tells them that they have no idea how lucky they are to be getting the grain at the price that it is. He makes it clear to the common folk that he dislikes them. He repeatedly says that they should be hanged for even thinking of making their own prices of grain. With his obvious distaste for the poor folk of Rome, it completely slips his mind that maybe someday he would need their support. Yet, he mocks them and speaks of hellish ways he would murder them just for wanting grain at an affordable price. Meanwhile, Volumnia sits at home with her son's wife Virgilia. Volumnia consistently praises her son and talks of his scars. It is clear that she has high expectations for Caius Marcius, and when she mentions that she would rather have him die in battle than to have never been a hero at all, this shocks Virgilia, as she only wants her husband to return safely from war. Virgilia talks about her son, claiming that he has violent tendencies, which she believes comes from her husband, Caius Marcius. Volumnia disagrees and thinks he is only showing signs of becoming a man, and she hopes that he will be just as great as her own son, Caius Marcius. A battle is afoot. Caius Marcius and his rival Phidias are about to go to war with their 2 tribes. Caius Marcius fights bravely by himself and takes over the Italian city known as Corlioanus. Upon his return from battle, his heroism grants him the name
Corlioanus!
He embraces his mother first, talking to her about her beauty and how he loves her dearly. He has to be reminded that his wife is nearby in order for him to even notice her. He does not have the same joy as he does with his mother. Mommy complex. The aristocrats wish to make Corlioanus a consul after he has returned from a victory. He is reluctant at first, as he must wear a gown and hat that is embarrassing to his eyes, and ask the very common folk that he slandered for their votes. He is not happy about it, but he tries to be civil. The townspeople comply and promise him their votes. Corlioanus believes he has this election, so to speak, in the bag. He is relieved of his embarrassing task and complains to his mother that he made a fool of himself. Volumnia coddles her son and builds his confidence back up. He returns to beg for more votes and is greeted with rebellion. 2 citizens, Brutus and Cincidius, persuaded the commoners that he is not worthy of their approval, no matter how many scars and triumphs he has had. This drives Corlioanus mad, and he uses harsh words, which only further makes the commoners believe he is not worthy of their votes. He is then banished from Rome. Corlioanus wants revenge and seeks his enemy Phidias. The 2 agreed to be peaceful and made plans to attack Rome out of spite. However, as the 2 are conspiring against Rome, Phidias quickly realizes that he is falling underneath Corlioanus' shadow and becomes jealous, but he pushes down this newly found rage. When they attack, Rome is thrown into a panic as they do not have a strong leader to push their army to victory. Friends of Corlioanus plead with him to spare them mercy, but he dismisses them. When Volumnia appears, she begs for peace, and in that moment he is bending to her every will. His love for her is too strong. I mean, seriously, he has to have a mommy complex, right? Volumnia is then seen as the savior, and the townspeople award her with praise, just as her son had gotten before. Aufidius is furious, and all the pent-up jealousy that he had for Corlioanus exploded. He believed that Corlioanus had failed to take Rome and had fallen to treachery. The two start an argument, and Corlioanus challenges Aufidius's men to kill him. He is confident, but he ends up dying by the hands of some of Aufidius's men. Aufidius stands over his body, the rage and jealousy gone, and demands the townsfolk give him a proper burial. The play ends with a sullen march, the townsfolk carrying the body of Corlioanus off stage.